Hi folks, Piney Woods Prepper here. Um, I've talked about different aspects of prepping, food storage, water storage. Um, I think I mentioned beans, bullets, and Band-Aids at one point. And yeah, all that is necessary. We have to store that kind of stuff. But I also mentioned that another aspect of prepping, just as important, is skills. Uh, the more skills you have related to prepping, the better off you're going to be. Some of the skills that I possess, in in one degree or another, um, is food preservation, pressure canning, water bath canning, dehydration, pickling, that kind of thing. Uh, but another one is gardening. Um, I always have a garden, and not always successful. In fact, last summer the brutal heat of that summer just made gardening a real challenge. Um, but there are several other things that I dabble in, and I want to talk about one of those things today. Um, and that is growing microgreens. So I guess it's a form of gardening, but microgreens, those things are amazing. They're packed full of nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, and they taste good. And you can use them for uh, put on a sandwich, in soups, on a salad. Some people even put them on their eggs in the morning, on pastas, pizzas, you name it. There's a lot of uses for microgreens, and they're they're packed full of flavor as well as nutrients. So I want to talk a little bit. Uh, I have, well, full disclosure here, I have only dabbled in in growing microgreens. I don't do it on a regular basis, but occasionally I will grow some microgreens. I have some equipment here, and I'll show that to you. And I also have some seeds that we'll talk about in a little bit. But uh, microgreens are something that don't take up much space. In fact, I've got a little cart here, a tool cart or whatever you want to call it, and I pretty much my microgreen operation is pretty much confined to this cart, and so it doesn't have a big footprint. It's something that can be done in an apartment. Uh, I in the wintertime, I do it here in the house. This room is well, we lovingly refer to it as a junk room. Um, I'm another one of my skills, since we're talking about them, is I'm a ham radio operator, and I have my ham radio equipment sitting over here on the table. And although it didn't have anything to do with prepping, um, I used to pick around on a guitar. Well, guitars, I like musical instruments. I like some unusual musical instruments. I have a few guitars. I got a banjo over here. I don't think you can see them, but I have a 3-string cigar box guitar. I have a mountain dulcimer and a ukulele here on the wall. And I probably have, I don't know, maybe 20 harmonicas in a box. So I'm not good on any of them, but you know, I certainly don't play gigs or anything. But I entertain myself sometimes, and I'd get pleasure out of doing it. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I know some of you know it. But here a few years ago, I suffered a couple of strokes. Well, a couple of years apart, a year or so apart, and one of the minor strokes that I had affected my left hand, kind of partially paralyzed it. And so while I got much use back of that hand, it doesn't, my fingers don't really want to do exactly what I tell them to do. So that kind of put the quietus on my guitar playing, because I can't really form chords anymore. But I can kind of pick around on them. I have different tunings, called open tunings. So, you know, I enjoy music, and I enjoy playing it. And but like I said, that really doesn't have a lot to do with prepping, except sometimes when everything goes south, you know, you could kind of relax for a few minutes when you have the time, and that would be something that I could do. But back to the microgreens. Microgreens, I'd like to say, well, they're easy to grow, and what I like about them is in anywhere from a week to 2 weeks from the time you get them started, you have something to eat. You have microgreens, and so we're gonna plant some microgreens here, and we'll go through them every day or so. We'll do another short video and kind of tack it on to this one, and we'll see the progression. And while I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, I'm gonna try to steer you right, but don't take my word for everything. There are a lot of great YouTube videos that you can get the information from, because, well, for instance, these seeds, what have I got? I've got sunflower seeds. I've got one called a spicy salad mix. I've got radish, broccoli, beet, peas, and what's this, nasturtium. And all those make great microgreens. So I'm gonna plant a couple of them, and what I plant them in is these little trays here. They come in 2 parts. You have a tray that's a solid tray, and then you have a tray that has perforations in the bottom. And we'll kind of explain that as we go. But you put your growing medium in the perforated tray. and there are different growing mediums. Some people use potting soil. Others use you can get these big rolls of jute that some people use. Some people use like a paper towel, and what I typically use, I just started out using it, and I see no reason to change. Is I use a medium called Coco Coir, and so that's what we'll be using today. So I'm gonna take the camera now and try to turn it where you can look down in here, and instead of looking at my ugly mug, you can maybe see what I'm doing. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I have a little bucket down here that's got some of the Coco Coir in it, and it just looks like dirt. Can you see that? It just looks like dirt. But it's a good growing medium. I really like it. And so we're gonna put a little bit on one of these trays, and you don't have to put just a whole lot, probably maybe a half inch layer of this stuff on your tray. And kind of spread it out and maybe pat it down a little bit. Now, when I say pat it down, I don't mean mash it flat. I just mean kind of get it to settle a little bit. Okay, there's that one. And this one. You know, break up the little clots a little bit. This Coco Coir holds moisture really well, which is one thing I like about it. It helps this little baby plant to grow good. Helps them to germinate and grow pretty fast. Okay, we'll call that good. Now, the question is, what to grow? I need a paper towel. I use my pants. I think we'll do a spicy salad mix, and I think we'll do broccoli. Those are two great ones. Now you can let's see. These seeds come from a company called True Leaf Market, and they're a good source to get your microgreen seeds. Another good source is Johnny's seeds. But so far, I've never had a problem with these from True Leaf. So what we're gonna do just open the packet. They make it childproof, okay. And see that little bitty, can you see that? And you just kind of sprinkle them pretty thick all over the surface of your cocoa coir. Be sure to get around the edges good. A little bit more. Now, some people, they'll weigh it out. They'll use so many grams or whatever per tray. Like I say, I just dabble in this, but it's not rocket science for me. It's just an enjoyable pastime. So there is the spicy salad mix. And so now we're gonna grow some broccoli. In this other one. Okay. Now let's get a little more. You can plant it pretty thick, you know. It'll be a solid carpet once you get done. Once it all germinates and starts growing. Okay. So now the cocoa coir it's got some moisture in it, but we're gonna take our little, just a little pump bottle type thing, and we're gonna get these seeds. The beauty of using these little pump sprayers is it doesn't scatter the seeds out. If you just pour water on them, it's gonna wash all your seeds up into a clump, and you don't want that. You want them to stay pretty much in place. Okay. Now, they're ready to go. So what we're going to do now is take another one of these tray bottoms, and set right down on top of that, on each one of them. And what this does, see, you left those seeds these are my weights. Just old piece of firewood. Just enough to keep it. You don't want too much weight on it, but enough to. What this does is kind of it acts as, since the seeds are on top of the growing medium, you use this to it kind of acts like a layer of soil on top, so the roots will grow down, and you know, they'll germinate better, and it also holds moisture in better. And so basically at this point, that's all you do. Now about every day, I'll come back and I'll get my spray bottle and I'll wet them down again, because the last thing you want it to do is dry out, because you want them to germinate, and in order to do that, they have to have that moisture. And so about every day or so, well, every day. In fact, you know, it depends on the season, even the time of the year. Like here during the winter time, I mean, it's first part of the middle of January, and it's cold outside right now, and so the heater's going, and so the humidity is pretty low in the house. So maybe even twice a day I come through here and hit them a lick with the spray bottle. Now in the summertime, I'll let me turn this thing up so I can see you. Okay. In the summertime, I'll grow these. I'll just roll my little cart out there in the carport, and where they can get fresh air and sunshine, and you know, it's more natural, and better humidity out there during the summer. But anyway, so you just kind of have to, you know, stick your finger down in that medium, and you know, if it feels dry, you go hit them with that spray bottle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end this here because I'm just going to come back every time you know, we do something a little different. I'll show you what we're going to do. But I'll kind of give you an overview. After probably 2, maybe 3 days with it being like this, the germination should have be well along, and so we'll take these trays off of them, and basically what we'll do is turn the tray over and sit it down on top. And me being a poor boy operation, I have well, I'm not going to get it now, but I have a little styrofoam cooler that I put down upside down over these to make it dark, because it needs darkness to what you want your microgreens to do is to grow tall and get kind of, the term is leggy, and they won't look good. They'll be yellow looking because they won't have gotten any light or any not to speak of. And so you do that for a few days, and then once you do that, then you'll take them out of the dark and put them in the light, and then that's when they'll green up really pretty, and they'll grow. They'll keep growing. You'll just have it looks like a little green carpet. It's just beautiful, and that'll go on for several days, sometimes a week. It depends on what it is you're growing. I mean, they grow at different rates. So anyway, you let it rock on like that until such time as you feel like it's ready, and then you'll harvest it. And basically, all you do when you harvest it is I have this really sharp knife, and you just kind of grab a handful of the tops and slice it off. Some people use scissors, but I like this knife. I like knives. So that's about it. We'll get out of here, and we'll keep stitching different videos on until we get to the end of the growing process and go from start to finish in one video, unless it gets to going too long. And of course, I'm kind of long-winded, so that's a definite possibility, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Maybe you learned a little bit, and I would like to encourage everybody to think about growing microgreens. It's easy, it doesn't cost much, and it's really beneficial to your health. So with that, we'll say adios. This is the Piney Woods Prepper, folks. God bless, and be safe out there.